For our biome, we are doing the temperate rainforest. The temperate rainforest consists of wide leaves and large and tall trees. They are located in the eastern United States and Canada. The average temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and the rainfall average is 30 to 60 inches. Temperate rainforests have nutrient-rich soil and deciduous trees. Temperate rainforests also have a variety of animals, including crows, black bears, raccoons, wolves, salmon, and bald eagles.
The biome that we have been researching is the Great Bear Temperate Rainforest that stretches more than 250 miles along the coast of British Columbia. It houses an abundance of animals including coastal gray wolves, grizzly bears, salmon, sea lions, humpback whales, and its most celebrated resident, the rare cream-colored Kermode bear or spirit bear.
As with many other biomes in the world, the Great Bear Temperate Rainforest is experiencing the negative effects of climate change. During the 20th century, Earth's average surface temperature rose by approximately 1.08 degrees Fahrenheit. As the climate rises, the vegetation will no longer be able to be supported with the higher temperatures, resulting in the loss of vegetation.
One of the most important organisms to the Great Bear Rainforest is the salmon. Salmon's average lifespan is 2 to 8 years, and their outer body covering consists of scales, gills, and fins that help them swim and survive underwater.
The first internal body system that we focused on was the digestive system. Pacific salmon are omnivores, meaning that they eat smaller fish, crustaceans, and insects. When eating, food will enter the digestive tract through the mouth. The intestine completes the digestive process, and the liver and pancreas secrete digestive enzymes to the intestine.
Another system is the nervous system. Most fish have incredible sensory organs. Salmon, which are active in the daylight, have well-developed eyes and color vision nearly equal to the average human. Salmon can distinguish between the odor of their own home stream and that of another stream while they are still far out at sea. Most fish have ears inside their heads, but they do not hear well. Another organ in the nervous system is the brain. This organ coordinates the messages received from the environment through the sensory organs. The forebrain controls smell, the midbrain controls vision, and the learning responses to stimuli. Lastly, the hindbrain coordinates movement, muscles, and balance.
Another system in the salmon is the circulatory. Fish have a closed circulatory system with a heart that pumps blood through the body. From the gills, the blood travels throughout the body, providing tissues and organs with life-giving oxygen and removing carbon dioxide. A specific organ in the circulatory system is the heart. The blood is pumped through the heart and is then sent away from the heart to the gills where carbon dioxide is released and becomes oxygenated.
The salmon in the Great Bear Rainforest are key species to the forest because bears and wolves carry salmon carcasses away from the stream where they decompose and deliver nutrients to the forest floor. These nutrients enrich the surrounding landscape, allowing it to support higher levels of diversity, which in turn increases the resilience of the ecosystem. Climate change has been negatively affecting how the salmon have been surviving in the Great Bear Rainforest. As the temperature rises, the water temperatures also rise. Salmon tend to thrive in cold waters, so when the water temperatures rise to uncomfortable levels, the salmon are unable to tolerate it. Additionally, higher water temperatures lower the availability of dissolved oxygen, which is a key piece to salmon's survival by providing oxygen for their blood and organs. If the salmon are unable to survive in the increasing temperatures, animals will in turn begin to die as well due to the lack of protein in their diets, and the surrounding ecosystem will also begin to lack nourishment.
In general, young salmon eat insects and plankton. Adults eat other fish, squid, eels, and shrimp. Unlike all other salmon, the sockeye salmon has a diet that consists almost entirely of plankton. Salmon eat small organisms and plant life that is along the river or body of water and store it as fat in order to swim long distances. When they need energy, the fat that is stored is slowly burned. Predators such as wolves, whales, and bears will get their energy from catching and eating salmon.
When the female salmon arrives back to her home stream, the spawning process begins. It is the female that initiates spawning by digging a shallow nest for her eggs in the gravel. She does this by turning slightly on one side and fanning her tail. This disturbs the gravel and much of it is pushed downstream by the current. The depression in the gravel is called a redd and will be the nest for the salmon eggs.
After the redd is ready, the female signals that she is ready to lay her eggs by touching her fin to the gravel. There may be other cues as well because this is the time males appear and there is a final competition for dominance. The winning male joins the female salmon and side by side they release their gametes above the redd. Male and female salmon are usually both the same color, but when spawning season arises, the male will turn a brighter color, usually a red, while the female stays a more subdued color.
Salmon are born in freshwater streams and rivers and will travel to the ocean after they hatch from their eggs. When they've developed into adults and are ready to spawn, they will return to the stream that they were born in. After spawning, many salmon will die within a few weeks and the life cycle will begin all over again. Salmon also tend to stay together throughout the journey back to their native streams to avoid the risk of being eaten by predators. This video shows salmon beginning to get ready to spawn. A large piece of salmon being unable to survive in higher water temperatures is their heart. Salmon and most other fish species are cold-blooded. They depend on the water temperature for the regulation of their own body temperature. Rising temperatures can also affect a fish's heart. Cardiovascular capacity is lowered, and the fish may become more vulnerable to disease and predators. If the temperature gets too high, it can be fatal. As the rate of oxygen consumption increases with temperature, so does the heart rate. The salmon's heart is simply too small to be able to process the rate of oxygen consumption since it requires a large amount of energy. Since the salmon are unable to process this large amount of oxygen efficiently, it puts a limit onto the amount of oxygen that can be supplied to its organs. This, in turn, will result in the death and reduction of the amount of salmon, which also impacts their predators.
To help the salmon survive in the higher water temperatures, the mutation that we will apply to the salmon is a larger and stronger heart. There will be more capillaries added to the gills, which will allow the heart to process more oxygen and get it sent more frequently to parts of the salmon's body. With the larger and stronger heart pumping more oxygen, the salmon will be able to withstand higher water temperatures by using oxygen more efficiently throughout their bodies. The larger heart will also be stronger, allowing them to swim further upstream to spawn and find food, which is a challenging task when the waters are warming because it uses more energy for them to swim.